Most master's applicants will focus on essays, test scores, and recommendations, but they forget one thing. The application form itself can quietly sink you. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 hidden application form mistakes that cost strong applicants admission every single year and how you can avoid all of them. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Caitlin, an Oxford MBA and admissions consultant who has helped hundreds of students win interviews and offers to attend all the top business schools in the world. Mistake number 1 is underestimating the short answer sections. Now, this can be a very damaging mistake because most applicants don't realize that the short answers are oftentimes mini essays. So just like regular essays, admissions committees are using them to get a sense for your clarity, your maturity, and your decision making. If you rush these or fill them with jargon or use vague descriptions, you're going to lose points from the admissions committees. And this is because they use these short answer sections to understand how clearly you can communicate, your level of self-awareness, your ability to understand and communicate your own career path, and even how deeply you've connected with their community. So these are not afterthoughts. These are filters the admissions committees will use. So when I'm working one-on-one with my students, I will treat the short answer fields like additional mini essays as long as they are requiring more than 100 words, or if they're asking for something related to your career goals. Then in those cases, you should absolutely treat them like essays. Don't just put in random thoughts or incomplete sentences. It needs to be well thought out. Mistake number 2 is being inconsistent with your resume. Now, this one's a quiet deal breaker because admissions officers are cross-checking everything that you put in your application form against your resume and against your LinkedIn profile. So they're going to look at job titles, dates, promotions, responsibilities, metrics, awards, and if anything doesn't match exactly all of these places, it's going to create a credibility problem, even if the mistake was accidental. Your application form, your resume, and your LinkedIn profile have to tell the exact same story. If they don't, admissions committees are going to think one of 2 things. Either you're careless or you're embellishing. Neither of those are going to help you. Now, when I'm working one-on-one with my students, apart from the GMAT and GRE, the 2 parts of their application that take the longest are the essays and the application form reviews. Now, that second one is what usually surprises my students when they first meet me. They don't expect the application form reviews to take so much time, but we are going very carefully through their application form and comparing it against their resume and their LinkedIn profile. And I'll tell you, no matter how careful we are, we're always missing something and have to go back through and check again and again and make sure that every single detail matches exactly so that we are telling a coherent story to the admissions committees. Mistake number 3 is mishandling the extracurricular section. So most applicants will do one of 3 things in this section. They will either just skip it, not fill anything out, or they will put everything they've ever done that's not all relevant to their narrative, or they'll fill in the relevant information, but they won't go deep enough and they won't be consistent with how they are presenting that information in terms of the formatting. Okay, so all 3 of these things will hurt you. If you choose not to enter anything into this section, that's a huge missed opportunity on your part. Usually schools are looking for information about how you spend your time outside of work and school. So that includes volunteering, any professional certifications you may have done, hobbies and interests. Now, on the other side, if you're entering everything you've ever done and it's all not really that meaningful to you or to your narrative, it's not going to help your case either. So the sweet spot is to enter as many activities, professional certifications, hobbies, etc., as relate to your narrative and show the admissions committees that you really do care about these things. Now, in terms of the number of activities that you should be adding, typically I'll recommend that my students add between 5 and 6 that are narrative relevant activities. But if your application only allows for 3, then enter 3. If it gives you no maximum, then you don't want to enter more than maybe 6 to 8. More than 8 and it starts to get like you're trying to just check boxes. Mistake number 4 is not submitting the correct kind of references and not explaining it. So every master's application is going to specify whether you should have an academic reference, a professional reference, or whether community-based reference would be okay. So you have to know which one you are expected to submit. And if you can't submit the one that they want for whatever reason, you need to explain it in the optional essay. So for example, some programs will tell you we want your direct supervisor to write one of the recommendations. And if they can't, because maybe you asking your direct supervisor would compromise your job, which they don't want you to do, then you need to explain it in the optional essay. If you don't explain it in the optional essay, you've missed their instructions. And that looks like you're not being careful or you just don't care enough about giving them what they want. Both of those things aren't great messages to send. Mistake number 5 is leaving the optional essay blank when you should be providing more information. Now, not everyone needs to fill out the optional essay. And if you don't need to, but you do, it's gonna look like you are just wasting the admissions committee's time. However, if any of the following are true for you, then you need to be providing more context in the optional essay. Your choice of recommender is not who they wanted. Your GPA is lower than 3.0 out of 4.0. You've switched majors. Your transcript is inconsistent. You failed a class. You were unemployed. You have a gap on your resume of 3 months or more. Or in the future, you plan to retake the GMAT or GRE. Many applicants will worry that if they give more information, it's going to look like they're making excuses. You're not, because the admissions committees want an explanation for these things. Now, if you don't give an explanation, the admissions committees are going to start coming up with one on their own, and it may or may not be true. So that's why you want to take the opportunity to explain what happened, but be factual and concise. So to recap, we've gone through the 5 major mistakes that will sink applications. Number 1 is underestimating the short answer section. Number 2 is being inconsistent with your resume and LinkedIn. Number 3 is not handling the extracurricular section correctly. Number 4 is not providing the recommenders they wanted and then not explaining it. And number 5 is not filling in the optional essay when you should. These 5 mistakes will all reduce your clarity and your credibility. If you want even more support with your graduate school applications, then I've created several resources for you and I've linked to them in my description. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.